Let's see, is this on? Is this guy? Are we sharing?
Yeah, you don't have any Wi-Fi with it. You gotta use some.
That's okay, we can start.
Okay.
It's all good. We started it.
Okay. Cool.
Let's kick this thing off, Brandon. We'll turn this over to you to.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome Okay, so just to kick off, we can hit the next slide. I'd like to introduce our wonderful judges, Kyle Gordon, who is an art person, NFT advisor, creative director, and visual designer. So if you'd like to come and wait.
Hi. So a lot of titles. I made for the last couple of years, I've been doing like immersive experiences, designing like festival stages for all your favorite festivals and concerts around the world. And about 2 years ago, I stumbled upon NFTs when I lost all my clients. And since then, I've been like an NFT artist, and I'm also a co-founder of a NFT virtue signaling protocol called Doing Good. And basically, we transparently track social impact using NFTs and creativity. And yeah, now I'm here.
Okay, and we have our second judge, Alvin, if you'd like to come to the stage. He is the managing director of Blockchain Accelerator.
Blockchain Accelerator. Osmosis in the Cosmos ecosystem. I've been building and researching in crypto for 5 or 6 years, so I have depth across multiple domains, mainly focused on smart contract security and also I'm really excited to be a part of the
Cool, and then we also have another special guest, Karen, who is actually one of the sponsors of this course. So give her a round of applause.
Give us the ammunition that we need to fund courses and fund research and all sorts of fabulous things to help promote the Berkeley blockchain ecosystem, including the accelerator that Jocelyn will tell you about later. And I just have one tiny ask, which is that during the break, if you could please fill out the online course survey, that will help us report back to Ripple how amazing you think this class is and that we should keep doing it. So thank you so much and good luck to all the teams.
All right, so just a brief agenda. I know we got started a couple minutes late, so we're going to be kicking things a little bit later. But so far, the agenda is looking like having the first 5 pitches, and then having a little 5-minute stretch break, and then having the next 4 pitches, and then having an amazing dinner party from a surprise place that you guys will see when it is delivered. And then finally, we're going to end with an award ceremony and thank yous, as well as announcing the first place team who is going to be going to the Collider Cup and getting an automatic A+ in the class. So got very excited and good luck to all teams, and let's get ready to pitch. Woo! So just a couple other things is that we have a couple of awards for tonight. So we have our best overall startup for third, second, and first place. We also have the most innovative technology, which was determined by the technical demo. And finally, we have the People's Choice Award, where you can scan the above code, and this is where you can vote for peer members on a scale of 1 to 10 of how great they did on their pitch. So we'll be averaging all of the scores during the dinner party and making all of our calculations to determine the award winners. So good luck for tonight. All right, and so for the pitch details, it is a maximum of 3 minutes following the Collider Cups rules. And there will be, right after, we're gonna be doing a small team picture as you're on stage. And then finally, 5 minutes for judge scoring and feedback, and then 2 minutes of buffer time just for the team to exit the stage and the team to come on stage. So this is the order which we have all prepared the slides in, and so we can dive right in. So in terms of the judging especially, this is something that is key. So this is how we are breaking down the judging process, in which is 10% for the quality of the pitch deck, 10% for your quality of storytelling, 25% for your business opportunity, 25% for your proof of traction, and finally 30% for your proof of work or building MVP. So this is how the judges will be scoring you tonight. And this is following some of the metrics that the Collider Cup uses to determine the best startup there. So without further ado, let the final pitches begin. Okay. So if we'd like to call Team 1 Sesame onto the stage, give them a round of applause.
All right, Jen, you should go sit down.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can judge.
Just so you know, if you didn't catch this, we do need you to grab this because this is a participatory event. So scan this guy if you didn't get it yet, and then we'll get going. All right.
Awesome. All right, so we have these two mics.
Do you have like
We're gonna have to have one of you from the hearing. So one of you can stand here.
I can do it and then.
here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can have like 2 and 2 or something. However you want. Cool. So you guys can share a mic here. Cool.
So hi, we are Sesame and want to bring clarity to the ticketing industry. So last time I wanted to go to Coachella, I ended up buying my ticket on a very famous website. However, 2 hours after, the retailer was gone and I ended up with a ticket scam. I got very frustrated and angry. So this is one of the 2 main problems that we identified. Why the lack of clarity, both for event organizers and for customers, and 2, the limited offer provided by a simple ticket, not creating a deeper engagement with the audience. That's why we created Sesame, an online ticketing platform that helps event organizers maximize their revenue and create a deeper engagement with their community.
Here's a brief demo of what Sesame can do. Customers will be able to search for their favorite events by their favorite event organizers, search for events by category, and purchase NFT tickets. So there's explore events and purchase tickets. So our total addressable market of live events worldwide is huge at almost $900 billion. And in addition, Sesame is the only blockchain-based all-in-one tool that allows event hosts to keep their memories and experiences in NFTs, and the organizers to maximize their including in them.
We're going to start targeting music festivals, before games, concerts, museums, and nightclubs with monitors. And in order to do that, we're going to start applying typical B2B sales techniques and channels, such as LinkedIn, referrals, mobile calls, mailing, events, etc. With these techniques, we raise the interest of 2 festivals, one in Spain and one here in California. So they will be our first early adopters as soon as our product is ready. So now we're working on having the implementation from them, and then with the consumers. Apart from the consumer traction, we want to share with you that we've been accepted in the head of the team for the summer class, and that we've taken a Harmony grant for the product development for $10,000.
Yeah, so our business plan is actually includes 2 parts. One is that we will charge $1 for each ticket sale on the primary platform, and then the second one is that we will charge 1% and the secondary market. At the beginning, we'll plan to focus on the entire market, which means we'll follow a B2B model and promote the styles of the ownership based from artists and organizers. And our initial ask for the investment is $500,000, which will be attributed to local legal, hiring, and royalties. And finally, here's our team. We have 2 engineers, me and Lena, and 2 business people, Asia and Jose. And that's our pitch. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you're welcome to do it.
The judge. Yeah, judges.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question? No. I can ask them. What's the incentive they post to bring you guys on board? And I guess it's also falls under the question of competition. Obviously, any time you start as anything. How do you differentiate?
Yes, so actually our current position is that we want to bring courses in this field, which are not very expert. And we also want to bring to help even organizers to manage their customers and clients, because we're at the moment they rely on state platforms such as, for instance, state platform or even Voice. And so they manage this process. So it means that they depend on this kind of platform for access to their metrics. And we want to actually provide them metrics so that they can improve their revenue and yes, so this is great. And the second main differentiation that differentiates from the market is that we want to implement a gamification process and incentivizing the customers, for instance, with a status, with a gold, diamond, silver status, depending on his purchasing consumer behavior.
So just to clarify, is this something that you white label out to these event organizers, so you just be offering in the back, or would people be buying their tickets through your content and your website?
People will be buying tickets through the website, because organizers will be listing us on that and listing tickets for sale that then customers will buy through the website.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Congratulations, first of all, team. And so you guys mentioned that you have 2 potential interested partners, right? Do you mind sharing and breaking down what was your approach on how you got to those partners and what happened to the rest of your approach?
For this one, California, it was LinkedIn to progress prospecting and 2 or 3 meetings. They asked to test the product as soon as it's ready. And for the Spanish one, it was a contact of mine from my previous startup. It was in the same accelerator, so I knew the guy, and they wanted us to test the product.
And do you have something in form, or was it just a
Sorry?
do you have something in written form, kind of evidence?
Yeah, because like the conversation stuff, we're like, we'll be ready in 2 months. So when we're ready, we're gonna have this final demo for them, and if they are agree with the demo and the conditions, then they will have the intentions.
Do you have any developing through line of reasoning on how you got to monetization?
Yeah, well, the revenue is really something and we can some research to different companies and maybe the festivals and tickets. And the secondary market is high, but we want to have just 1% forward to further as much as possible to maximize the revenue.
Okay.
I just have one quick question. So when you opened up the presentation, you were talking about like scanning out like scouting and stuff. And I think that's for the most part like a B2B type of situation. I would like to the a little bit more about what that experience will be like, and maybe prevent that, and maybe how you authenticate that sort of thing within the ecosystem, and why maybe a blockchain solution is needed versus like a competitor who might not be the blockchain but has a trust around the brand. Yeah, that's one of the key things that we have to do because of the time constraint. But if we see this as an NFTs for example, we have like this project associated with them. And so for example, let's say that we can activate the percent price for the 10% scalping. And we also have this verification factor. So everyone is helping, and everyone is using kind of program is you guarantee we are the guarantee that the ticket is okay. Yeah, perfect. I would love that. You're perfect. I would love to hear more about that. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that's all the time we have for this group. If we got a really quick team picture, that would be great. So if you want to navigate to your first slide. All right, great. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, and so for our next team, we can have Team Insider come to the stage. Give them a round of applause.
Yeah. You all good?
Hello, everyone. Welcome here today. Let me ask you a question before starting this. Who are all the space creators and content next time? One, why I am. I got 80 plus on my accounting course for my video. But when I spent my money by playing the game, which is called GameFi, I was so stressful to use Excel to calculate my earnings. And it is very time-consuming and easy to make errors. The Excel cannot be used from one wallet, and when I play many games at the same time. In this market, there are almost 900K daily active players like me, and is 17 billion market cap. How much have I earned? How fast can I get my investment back? Become two general questions they need answers. Our team has created a GameFi analytic tool to track all investment earnings with just one click. Our tool can easily track the investment earnings from multiple wallets with on-chain data. Let me show you how it looks like.
From the Insider team. Today I'm going to show you how to calculate ROI for a GameFi project in a single wallet. Enter your wallet address, select the GameFi project, press calculate, bang, now you get all the information. ROI, payback period for your initial investment, and the chart for split down view of your daily ROI return. And here's a leaderboard for you to understand your ROI relative to other GameFi users. Check us out in insider.fyi.
We are now collaborating with the GameFi guilds and foundations. We provide no connection to personal wallet solution to penetrate market. Now we have created 200 plus customer tractions in 3 weeks in the community. Compared to the current offering in the market, we're so different. We are providing the multiple game, multiple wallet solution together with an NFT discovery function. This function can help the investor to earn more by showing them which NFT is better. We target at building a GameFi tools sharing community, starting from the ROI calculator. We're providing and adding the premium features such as game strategy, leaderboard, and NFT discovery for subscription as the revenues in the future. We are a team from UC Berkeley. We're a team insider. Join us. Join the community. You can earn your money better. Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation. Do you do the accounting for your users, or is this primarily sort of projections of ROI? Either way, follow.
Yeah, we do the accounting for the users. When you click your wallet address, you can see all the historical transactions, what you have earned, what you have spent so far, and then we do projections like what is the ROI basically.
Got it. And when you say accounting, do you mean primarily for tracking your bottom line, or do you mean for like tax purposes as well?
Yeah, it's not for tax purposes,
Okay.
it's just for tracking, rather than using Excel with just one click.
Okay, got it. I mean, obviously there are a number of games that are starting to integrate these types of dashboards themselves. There are companies that are launching with the sole purpose of being sort of a front-end dashboard for them. How do you prevent, or I guess, what's your moat? I would say is like the actual question, but like really, how do you prevent these projects from just building their own interfaces or from just copying basic interface tooling to provide projections?
Yeah, basically, in order to be basic dashboard, you cannot prevent it because it's all in the blockchain. Anybody can do that.
Right.
But what we can do is add extra features like data analytics. We have that muscle so well that we can do NFT price discovery and we can understand the user data to do prediction better than the other competitors.
That's interesting, yeah. When I look at some GameFi projects, I think the projection of ROIs can be extremely misleading. And a lot of projects will do this type of projection to get more people on in a promise of profits, but usually it's completely off. How do you adjust for that so that people don't use your dashboards to sell dreams to people?
Yeah, what we do is giving also historical ROI. Therefore, you can see how ROI changed so far day by day. And also, when you look at the blockchain, you can see I will use a game word, but it's sinkers and minters. Sinkers use the coin, minters mints the coin. Therefore, you can understand inflation and project what will be the ROI so far in the future. Will it go up or down? So is it a Ponzi scheme or not, basically?
Yeah, that's awesome. And is your, you mentioned your sort of go-to-market, are you thinking of partnering with these top projects? Because I feel like in some sense, this is a winner-takes-all space, right? It's your primary vote is gonna be your brand, especially because you're not white labeling, you're just directly sort of building your own front end. Are you intending to partner with companies like Axie or DeFi Kingdoms, like those types of GameFi companies, or are you trying to just let users organically flow into your company?
Basically, we are not choosing one on another because I have been in the space for so far and I did invest in GameFi. So most of the games I have a connection with it. So therefore, we will use it both ways. Just go to the guilds, go to the games, and also organically watch people use it.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry for taking some time.
In addition to that, so actually we will partner with new gamers, new developers in games. So that'd be more reasonable. For like some popular games, so we will just as I said, we will go to the guilds.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Is there anyone else?
Congrats, guys. Excited to see the progress over the last month. I have two questions. One is, this tool seems to be definitely useful, but what I'm concerned is how easy is it to, and I think it's aligned with what we heard already. How easy is it to copy? Like, what's the barrier of entry? Like, if I get to engineers, like, what's your secret sauce? What did you invent here?
Yeah, the secret sauce is data analytics and the usage of understanding the database. As you said, is the barrier to entry just for the accountant is not hard. You can just download it from Etherscan or BSC scan and do some Excel tricks to have it. But in order to understand the projection, where is our secret sauce? We can project out the market using the historical data better than everyone.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on what this tool might become when it is adult? Where do you guys want to go from there? What's your big picture there?
So my big picture is basically becoming like Google for the games. So if you want to go into the GameFi, you will just Google the name of the game, and then you will see all the history and what is talking about, what the community talks about, and what are the statistics about the game. And then you can choose which game to play, how much you can earn, how much people spend, what game strategies can you use in the game to maximize your revenue, etc.
Yeah, in addition to that, we are also targeting to building a community to share all the games like tools right now. So we can see like tools for each game, very popular, like Axie or even Upland, something like that. But we didn't see a tool like across all the games together. So we're going to like to build a community for that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have.
Kevin?
Yeah, this is how it's about to be, so please keep me coming.
Also, here's secret sauce, Kevin, are the one.
Go back to the.
Well, you can go to your.
Okay.
This one. There we go. Are you all set? Okay. 3, 2, 1. One more. Okay. Thank you. All right. So if we can now welcome Team 8 Clutchy onto the stage, give them a round of applause. Woo!
Okay. So hi everybody, we're Clutchy, I'm Armand, this is Soren, and we're the co-founders of Clutchy, the new platform that brings together esports fans and teams through a unique experience. And so first, do you really know what esports is? 15 years ago, it wasn't really a thing. It is now breathtaking tournaments that bring together millions of people online or in real life. But because of this sudden boom, people like me and the whole community is now paying the price. Indeed, 83% of the 68 self-identified esports fans that answered our survey express the same sensation as I do. This feeling of being less and less recognized and unique in this continuously growing community. So the times where we were feeling special are gone. So we decided to tackle this issue by creating Clutchy. Clutchy is a platform that allows esports fans to officially own, collect, and trade the most memorable moments of their favorite esports teams. So how it works? Basically, you esports fans can open packs or buy directly on our platform NFTs representing moments from the latest tournaments. And by owning those NFTs, they can have access to exclusive rewards. And on the other side, part of the money generated are redistributed to esports teams. So this is how it looks like. As you can see, there are like digital buys as well as a marketplace where you can see all the latest moments that are being traded right now.
Right. About the business model, it's a standard NFT marketplace. So we have the digital pack sales ranging from $9 to $149 with different tiers that will generate revenue, but also a 5% marketplace fee on all transactions. About the competitive advantages, it's a really early market, but we believe we can make a huge difference by focusing 100% on esports team and also delivering utilities to the community. About the market itself, it's really booming, as I was saying, billions of dollars. The audience and the community is hundreds of millions, and what's interesting, they're also owning, lots of them are owning crypto, which is good for us. We want to approach them by doing partnership. So these are the esports team and gaming communities that we already reached out to. We're involved with lots of them. And I want to talk more about Next Play, which is the biggest esports team in the Philippines. We're in advanced discussion with them. They have 35 million fans the Philippines, and also it's really huge between crypto early adopters, so it's the perfect use case for quality.
And so for the IP strategy, so even though the current contracts like for gaming events organizer are not specifying the sale of NFTs, we talk with them, we talk with game developers, and they are ready to work to determine the future term of the contracts, because when there's money to make, they're ready to do it. And for the financial forecast, we're asking $500,000 to reach 10,000 users and to generate 2 million revenue over the 12 next months. And this is the team that will lead this project to success. Thank you very much.
Nice, guys. So my first question, well, I guess my only question is, when you opened up, you said, obviously you addressed that there's like a need for fans to connect more with the esports players. How does owning an NFT, outside of me just owning that moment, actually connect me with the esports player? And are there any things built into the platform that would allow me to connect with that person?
Right. So currently, I mean, the brand is like when you're sending a message, even when you're doing a donation on a Twitter stream, you're like one of like thousands of people. And the thing is that those NFTs are unique, obviously. And so owning them is like building first a relationship with the people like generating those NFTs, so this the esports player. So how they're gonna connect them is by those rewards we were talking about. So it's special moments with them, access to like special events, maybe playing with them. You know, like this is the same thing that, for example, like tennis tournaments are doing, like issuing NFTs so that people can then play with big players. That could be like an idea. And more importantly, this is a community that matter. And by owning those NFTs and showcasing them, you show them that you're unique, you're special. You're not one like common kind of fan. You're the one who's owning this moment that gather millions of people online.
So do you imagine like a dashboard for these esports players to choose how they would interact and reward their players?
I mean, so esports are not directly working on the platform. I mean, it's like the whole company, right? So we will like work on putting like special events for that. So we will. It could be also like a new source of income for us in the future. But basically, by showcasing those NFTs, the people will feel better with the community, and we will be ready to send us a notification and invite them to special events. So this is how we thinking is going to work.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, guys. NBA Top Shots started flying through the roof primarily because of the athletes. So they come in with a famous name, image, and likeness, right? So everybody recognizes them, right? So here the environment, I mean, the line of reasoning is kind of the same moments, right? But there are no special athletes or people that are famous involved in the frame that you're selling in this digital asset, right?
So you're saying there is no like esports players that are like very famous and that are not recognized in the community?
No, I think that there are always, in every market, is always the top ranked people, right? But how have you validated that this problem of owning this digital asset would create an ongoing demand and supply of people wanting it? Have you an evidence for that?
I mean, the evidence that we can give you like right now is that it's working for traditional sports. And because esports is like most of the people like consuming esports content are digital native, they are even more ready to move on this kind of solution. So if it's working for UFC, if it's working for the NBA, for example, and we're seeing that a lot of people are even like asking for physical rewards from like the NFTs they are owning on those platforms. When we start like talking with those people, the one that like the 68 people that answered our survey, they also expressed like a strong interest in having like new solutions, and most of them were already aware about how NFTs can like make them feel special in this field. So we already have some good traction on the business part with the partnership, as well as the answer we received on the surveys.
Thanks.
Hey guys, thank you for your presentation. I did a meaningful amount of work with Dapper Labs leading up to their Top Shot launch, and I feel like got like quite a bit of insight into their process. It seems to me like this is an industry and a tree that has been shaken many times, and it basically turns into a biz dev and partnerships company because no matter how much authenticity or value you try to put onto an NFT, it's always going to be the one that is endorsed by the people that the NFT actually represents. That is going to be the authentic one. What is your strategy for partnerships in the specific industry that you're targeting? And keep in mind that this is probably one of the most well explored and competitive spaces in sort of NFT markets, especially after Top Shot's success.
So the question is like how we're gonna like make the difference with all those people like trying to like work on in this system, right?
How are you gonna win the partnerships when everyone else has been trying for 2 years?
Well, this is a question that we ask ourselves because obviously like women at this point and it's like it's pretty like very tight. And things that we sent like 60 men at first with to like random and most importantly very famous esports teams, and we were like they will never answer, and so they did. And after the call we had with them, especially like on next play that we're talking also about tier one of the biggest team on large League of Legends, and they were like, yeah, we're ready to talk to you because the esport, like the next project that are related to esport right now are more about like merch and like let's say nothing's related to that at the moment. People are spending and that are sharing, but about like merchandising and like secondary kind of authorities. And so they were interesting about it because for them it's just like a new source of income. As we were saying, we will redistribute like part of the revenues to them. So they are happy to find a way to like have more money on this thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Sorry? Yeah.
C'est notre secret sauce.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so now we can have our next team, Apollo, come to the stage. All right, good luck. Thanks.
All right. In February, I wanted to see my favorite artist at Sheep. And so Tickets initially were retailing at $40, but they immediately sold out. And once the resale market and the price jumped up to around $97, 2x the original price right away. I thought the price was going to go down, so I waited 2 months. But the price went up again to $162, 4x the original price. I really wanted to see Keshi, so I ended up buying the tickets. I was super sad, frustrated. But you know who else was frustrated? Keshi. This is a problem that faces musicians and fans in the resale market all the time. Musicians regularly lose out in a $20 billion resale market, and fans show a lack of confidence in the resale market. Around 12% seem to get scammed each year, leading to around $9 billion in lost value.
Introducing Apollo X Music. We are a platform that enables musicians to mint, sell, resell, and manage their NFT tickets for their events. So for artists, they get a better fan engagement and also a cut of the resale market. And for fans, they have more secure transactions, lower fees, and memorabilia after the event. So unlike other competitors in the NFT ticketing space and existing players like Ticketmasters, we are committed to provide the most value for both fans and artists by providing pre-sale liquidity earnings for artists and for fans, pre-sale access for loyal fans. So we have launched our landing page for a waiting list, and also we have tested and deployed our smart contracts on testnets. By mid-2022, we're launching our functional MVP starting with VIP tickets. And by the end of 2022, we'll expand into general ticketing and also release NFT fan engagement tools as well.
We've made a lot of progress so far, talking to a lot of EM artists, namely Sam Wolf and Solardo, and getting intent from them. In addition, we're working with Music, a blockchain streaming partnership, in order to validate fan loyalty and provide pre-sales. We've recently gotten a grant from Blockchain at Berkeley. We'll be interviewing with YC next week, as well as are currently in a competition hosted by Franklin Templeton to increase our financial gain as well as support. In future, we're definitely going to be pushing on the levers of getting more traction with artists as well as venues, as we see those as the next steps. Our team is composed of passionate music lovers with strong expertise in both business, engineering, and design backgrounds. Our ask is 300K in funding for initial seed around operating and marketing costs. Thank you so much for listening. We're really trying to revolutionize the music industry around ticketing for the benefits of fans and artists.
Sorry, we had a QR code for the landing page too, but it's not showing up.
Well, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
Great presentation, guys. I'm curious as to, I have a couple of questions. I won't ask all of them, but how do you make sure that the process is airtight for the tickets to actually be used in the way it's intended, right? Like, is it, if it's QR code based, then obviously you're not preventing the existence of another secondary market on top of it that's not dissimilar to what people do today. I empathize and sympathize with the story and the experience. But I'm curious as to how you make that process airtight.
Yeah, so basically in the secondary market, once the ticket is basically issued as an NFT, right? The QR code is generated based on on-chain data that is changed right before the event when we call a function and pay a certain amount of gas to basically change the collection itself. And then that QR code is generated like basically 30 to 40 minutes before the event, so they can technically screenshot the QR code. And because it's done basically right before the event, there's no ticket scanning happening because normally people don't buy tickets 30 to 40 minutes before an event. And then that allows us to basically allow them to still access the ticket offline, but also still have a valid ticket.
That's interesting because you also have the option of like letting the event, or like let's say the bouncer or whatever, have the other half of the seed to generate the QR codes, like they can only generate that or something. Yeah, I mean it's got the idea.
Oh, I just wanted to, there's definitely different ways you can go about it, but definitely the idea that the QR code that you buy with the NFT or associated with the NFT that launch of the ticket sales is not the same QR code that you bring to the event.
Okay, cool. And then what platform are you building and sort of launching, and then also you can go into what kind of standards are you conforming to for NFTs and all that?
Yeah, so right now we're planning to deploy on Polygon, but we've been just developing Solidity, so any EVM languages will be compatible languages will be fine. And what's the second question again? Yeah, token standard.
So we're basically using ERC-721 for the NFT and then 2981 for the royalty standard. So if they do want to basically resell on a different marketplace, they're still going to be accepting royalties.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, guys. Obviously, what's your plan for partnerships and strategy? And this is probably like the primary.
So definitely we're trying to go from a top-down and bottom-up approach to building up a strong fan base to have that as a kind of a base to artists as well as venues. I think another thing we're looking at is around virtual events too, because that allows you to get around the physical ownership of venues as well as like that stranglehold between Ticketmaster and Live Nation. So that's another approach we're looking at.
So I mean, it goes without saying that the space you're entering is a dogfight. This is probably going to be important, especially for your YC interview. To answer the question, what's the biggest fish you can catch?
Biggest fish that we can catch in regards to
partnerships.
That's a good point. I think the biggest fish we can catch probably would be like a huge festival, on the scale, say Coachella or EDC. So I think that's definitely would be understand the hurdles there. We understand the shiny hole. I think we're really trying to upend the entire business model. We're trying to think outside of the box. And so trying to use an NFT ticket as a normal ticket, how can we change the entire business model and interactions between stakeholders to benefit artists and fans?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. What evidences do you have that what makes you different is really valuable to the market? So did you reach out to a target audience? Did you interview? Do you mind sharing again the process what you did there?
I would say the big part of us was, after a lot of conversations, we wanted to focus around two problems. One is the artist resale path, as well as the scalper problem. And I think through a lot of our surveys with consumers and as well as data that we found, the scammer problem definitely was a huge one. And so that's one we wanted to address, as well as for fans, the scalper problem. So that's where we looked into this idea of the pre-sales, because by having proven fan loyalty, you can start to negate the problems of true fans not getting that initial kind of fair market price of the initial ticket sale.
And can you just quantify that? How many,
It was 12% of fans in the US, which amounted to around $9 billion in ticket sales in the US. That's resulted in scam value.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you plan to have accounts that have custodial wallets for people who don't care about crypto?
Yes, definitely. And we're planning on integrating MoonPay as well for consumers who don't care about crypto in general. So we're trying to make this onboarding process as seamless as possible. So they will get the benefit of NFTs and also go to their favorite artists without too much trouble.
Okay. And the second question is regarding like the tickets as NFTs. How do you plan to target your messaging and wording to protect the brand integrity of the artists working with you who might get a lot of backlash for people concerned about environmental concerns regarding NFTs?
Yeah, so great question, actually. Ethereum is moving to proof of stake soon, hopefully. So that will solve a lot of the concerns. But we think, what's that?
Yeah. Essentially, I mean, we're also on Polygon when we deploy, like, for real, so like that already doesn't really have too much environmental impact. But in terms of like NFTs as a whole, and I guess public market for people who don't really understand it, I think our idea is to basically market and also help people understand what they're buying. Because for us, the platform is an NFT platform, and people don't understand the value behind why it's secure in the first place. It doesn't matter if they're native to crypto or not, they're not going to buy the tickets.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also, one last thing, sorry. If you want to sign up for a waiting list, the website is apolloxmusic.xyz. So if you want to type that.
All right, and so with that, let me just navigate. We have our 5-minute break, so this would be a great time for our form. If Karen, you want to introduce that once again. But yeah, we have a little stretch break now. Cool.
Yeah, because he sent us a message just before to verify that we really uploaded. So I was like wondering if he really did it. Yeah, but yeah, everything is. And this is working, yeah? Okay, because we have a video, and I saw that we need to put the microphone here.
Oh, yeah, to get the audio?
I will think about it. Okay, so we were.
Yeah, it should be fine. I think what you can do is probably drape it across all on this side instead. So you can get down there.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Do you remember which is the next one?
Oh, yes, after the 5 minutes.
After Apollo. This one, okay. Okay.
You good?
Okay, super. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah.
But I everything from like AI analytics protocols, working with like humans doing like there's like an AI. I'll remember that all. Yeah. It's been like a long week. Yeah, so that's what the project like for my platform, I've been curating all of our projects. Last year, so I've had a lot of conversations, a lot of like guidance on how people should be structuring their
Yeah, please. Yeah.
All right, everyone. So we are going to get back. If you all can take a seat, we're going to get started in just about a minute here. So yeah, if you all could take a seat in the corner.
Yeah, maybe even faster than that. Traceability. You're coming up. Let's get you on the seat.
All right, so without further ado, give traceability a round of applause.
Well, they are doing it, no? Yeah, I guess. Hi everybody, so today we're going to present you Traceable. It's where your sustainable advancement begins. So this is Claire. Claire is a female and she doesn't trust association to give money because she doesn't know where the money ends. So we actually met a lot of Claires during our interview, and we can see that there is really a pain point to give association because we don't know actually exactly to trace the money. And we also interview association, and we also saw that it's also a problem for them because they have difficulty to find investors, but they are also interested in a way to attract donors. And that's why we did an A/B testing to validate our assumption. And actually, there is a demand to know to trace the money. So that's why we came with our solution Traceable. It's using blockchain to follow the donation, and it's able to exactly know the trace of the money, and it reduces the risk of fraud. It improves security, and so it's accessible, it's traceable, and it's used technology.
Thank you. Now I'll be elaborating more on our prototype. So as a beneficiary, just click I want to list a project and add your project. And your project will be listed on our website. So as a donor, click I want to plant a tree and choose from the projects that we have listed on our website that you're most passionate about, and then make a donation. And the real-time information of your project will be listed on our page, on your profile page.
So it's very important to take a look at the competitors that we are up against as well. Within definitely the Web3 space, we have Climate.out, Toucan Protocol, and Big Green focusing on carbon credits as well as focusing on green projects. However, we also have indirect competitors such as fundraising websites and association websites. We need to keep in mind that none of them track the end user or the end plantation, as well as the competitive market rates that we charge are better than our competitors. Speaking of our competitors as well as the users, we have a big target market out there, from a $3.93 billion market for the people who donate actively to our immediate addressable market, which stands at $95.8 million. We are targeting working individuals who can spare up to $15 or more per month for donations through our platform. And finally, we wish to start this project off with a bang. So for starters, we want to partner with Cal alumni associations, gain traction through there. And moreover, then we want to partner with tree listing organizations such as Eden. Within the NFT and ecosystem spaces, we plan to go to NFT New York as well as ETHSF to get the word out there.
Well, we refine our business model in order to achieve a win-win-win solution. So we are charging organizations a subscription fee, and our users are get paid for transaction. So how are we going to achieve that? We've got a marvelous team of college students to back in this app. And what we need from you? Well, help us spreading the word. Take your phones, take a picture, share in your social network, and if we achieve our $500,000 fundraising, you'll be able to join us in our very first sustainable project. Welcome to Traceable, where your sustainable investment begins.
Some part of the slides are missing.
Great presentation, guys. This is obviously a very relevant space, one of the key sort of use cases on the payment side. I'm curious as to how you keep your process consistent past offboard. Obviously, at some point, you're going to have to offboard whatever payments or donations that people are doing. And usually past that point is where all the issues happen. Right? No one has any so long as they're part of the, that's where the issues are. So how do you keep that process airtight?
Yeah, I can take this one. So we are basically, we do understand that there is a problem in terms of like the data that is being entered. I feel like that is a problem that blockchain tracking systems have had in the past as well. One thing that we plan to do is have an amount already contributed from our partners so that there is money at stake. And if and when like there are partner protocols being violated, we have the right to slash the protocol money that they have from and ensuring that they do not violate the terms.
Interesting, cool. And what platform and ecosystem architecture are you building on?
Currently, we're building on Ethereum, but we are planning to move towards Polkadot or Polygon in the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess, so my question is, are you working with like a single organization, or are there multiple organizations that you plan to partner with? And what is your screening process for working with an organization?
So right now we are starting with one organization because we want to make it as simple as possible and kind of like make sure that it works. But our idea is reaching to organizations, and actually we are helping organizations as well to reach to more people who can donate.
Do you have a specific plan in the future on how you plan to scale the onboarding and screening process for these organizations?
You mean for the organizations, how we are going to actually onboard the organization?
Yeah, onboarding them, making it easy for them, because a lot of them don't have blockchain experience.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the first goals we did, because you want to make sure that the organization has embraced blockchain within the organization. And for big organizations, for instance, I'm not going to mention anyone, but like big organizations, that's actually a big problem for us. So we are targeting like small organizations and even like brand new organizations that can from the scratch create a structure based on blockchain.
Is there a specific country you're targeting first for these organizations based on like compliance laws, et cetera?
Well, right now we've started here because we talked to the alumni, and that's our first.
Great, thanks guys.
Congrats, guys. I have a question regarding the differentiation again. You mentioned something, but in a very fast mode. Do you mind double clicking again on what makes you different and why you?
Yeah, so main things that make us different are less charging fees that separates us from indirect competitors. So competitors like GoFundMe and Kickstarter charge on average 2.3% transaction fees. But the bit that we missed out was in the business model that we plan to charge 1% trading commission per investment. That should monetarily price our users, our competitors out. And in terms of like the Web3 traceability solutions, we acknowledge that there are already existing carbon credits and other based solutions, but none of them provide end-to-end traceability, not with on-the-ground partners. So that's what separates us from the two.
And at the beginning of the deck, you showed obviously some statistics and customer interviews, right? Do you mind taking this into what did you actually achieve from a traction model? I saw that you have a partner, a first partner here at Cal, right? And from an end user perspective, what do you achieve there?
From an end user perspective, we just got the answers and like the willingness that they will invest more, because we were asking the question, and would you be willing to invest in where the money is going and where we can grow with us? So that's the question on the user side, but we've been focusing mostly on getting the organization, because that's the first step.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right. right, so now we will have our next team. All right, healthcare, the stage is yours.
Thank you.
So back in 2001, my sister was diagnosed with thalassemia, which is a fatal disease where your body cannot produce its own red blood cells. To get my sister the right treatment, both my parents left their jobs, took a few loans from immediate family and banks, and we moved across the country just so that my sister could survive, and now she's becoming a doctor. Believe me when I say that we are not alone, and that is because 70% of medical expenses in India are paid out of pocket, and that is a huge cost. According to a recent survey, 90% of people borrowed money during the pandemic. That makes us believe that people are turning to crowdfunding when they don't have any other resources available. And that is why we bring you Health Change. Health Change is a digital-first blockchain platform built on a team that is specifically for medical crowdfunding.
Our platform is basically a website where you can either choose to donate money or to receive money. If you want to receive money, you just have to fill out a form and to upload some documents. And if you want to donate money, you can just follow the story of someone and choose the amount of money you want to donate. Some of you may just think, so it's just a crowdfunding platform, so how is Health Change different? The problem with crowdfunding is basically that there is a lack of transparency and trust. And the problem is that there are a lot of frauds. So this is exactly what we want to change.
So Health Change is different in 4 ways. First, we only release funds to legitimate cases. Second, all our users and transactions are verified. Third, we are going to build a self-help community. And fourth, we have a global reach through crypto-enabled crowdfunding donations. The global crowdfunding market is huge, but more importantly, how are we going to capture this market? We have a 4-step approach. We're going to start with partnerships with NGOs and medical doctors in certain areas in India where we have contacts to. Afterwards, we're going to launch the platform to the general public. Then we're going to capture the whole Indian market. And lastly, we want to capture the APAC market. Our business model is pretty straightforward. Free sign up for NGOs, free sign up for patients, and we make our revenue with commissions and tips. Where do we stand today? We are happy to announce that we have 3 private clinics as current partners, as well as 2 partner NGOs that would like to use our service as soon as we go live. We want to raise pre-seed funding, 300,000, and we are looking for connections in the healthcare space. And I would like to leave you with one last thought. Imagine a world where nobody has to say goodbye to the loved ones because of unaffordable medical expenses. That is the world that we envision. We are Health Change and open to any of your questions.
Oh, sorry.
So how do you plan, when you say there's like verified organizations and stuff, how are you as an organization validating the people who are setting up or receiving money are actually who they say they are actually the organizations that claim to be?
So there are basically 2 layers to that. The very first layer is everyone who's onboarded into our platform will require to do their KYC verification. And we are using external APIs, which are provided by the government of India so that we quickly use their documents. The second is that is why we talked about onboarding certain NGOs, because those are the people that are on the ground and they know the cases, the patients, etc. So we use a DAO mechanism where we provide them certain powers, and then that is the thing that we talked about, the self-help community. So those are the 2 layers where we actually make sure that the people who are requesting money are legit, and the people that are donating money, we tie them to their financial documents.
Great, thanks guys.
Congratulations. It's very nice to see the evolutions of all of you guys. Very, very proud of you. I have 2 questions. One is, I mean, if we look future back and you guys are up and running, then obviously you have, donators and one who claim it, right? But at the beginning, you have the chicken egg principle, right? So imagine somebody goes on the platform and requests before you have the funds, right? How are you planning to solve this?
So that, a portion of that is basically what we expected from our PC funding, because in order to bootstrap the platform and to get those NGOs, the thing is, we'll have to build a trust from the NGO itself to start their operations, and we'll be using a portion of our money for those operations and for those partnerships.
Okay. Second question that I have is about confidence. Before a brand becomes known, right? Because you're asking for very detailed documents, I assume, right? You have to have a certain level of confidence as a brand, right? As a startup, it's always very challenging from the get-go to have confidence. What are your plans on establishing that?
So I think the base about that will be awareness, and that is also again where the NGOs come into place. Because the thing is, they can help us get the idea propagated through the general public, especially people who are in need of the money at the moment. And the second is, since we're using blockchain, the idea is that we'll be encrypting all those documents and storing them on some IPFS, and we'll be using those hashes on the blockchain. So that data will not be visible to anyone and only to the participants. So those documents will not be visible, but the verification hashes will be shown to people to just showcase that these documents are actually legit.
And maybe adding to that, that's the reason why we chose our go-to-market strategy in a four-step approach. So we start with the NGOs and with the medical doctors, and with the traction from that, we go further, and then we launch it to the public.
Great presentation, guys. And you're all obviously great storytellers, and I can also tell from the way that you're describing everything that you understand the tech stack that you're working with. I'm trying to build conviction on why you absolutely need to use this type of infrastructure for payments and insurance. This is a question that you considered. I've had friends who sort of fundraise through GoFundMe. Obviously, there's like a KYC side that you're adding to this. I'm trying to see where along this user flow you absolutely need blockchain, because it does add a lot of overhead for you.
Yeah, that's right. And trust me, we ask that every time. And we have had like very deep discussion with them about that too. So again, there are two parts of it. First is the crypto itself, because that allows us to have a global reach. And the second thing is we can partner with something like giving blocks and the people who already have crypto. Recently, after the China ban, India has the largest number of people who hold crypto, right? So we can capitalize on that because there is also 30% taxation on it. So if we can capitalize on that crypto and we can give those people back in terms of tax rebate, that is a huge influx of money coming in. And the second is the DAO aspect. We are still working on that. But the thing is, we can use the NGOs and DAO that are in partnership, and we can build a self-help community using a DAO mechanism, clawback mechanisms incorporated funding like Bitcoin does. That allows us to actually enable people to do something within the community. So that is our end goal, right? I mean, this is a business, no doubt, but we want to empower people.
Why is it important that it's global? My understanding is that most people will sort of raise these types of funds from people who they know, right? Like their friends and family. Obviously, my friends and family are across seas, so like that's one side of it. But like, why is it so important that that it's everyone who can donate, as opposed to just your friends and family, people part of the same system?
I think the answer is that we're standing in the pandemic right now. That if a situation comes when it's such a global scale or like a national scale that everyone is struggling, then you need the humanity to come together itself, right? So first of all, it's the scale, and the second thing, that is the exact idea of this platform, that we want to bring that trust out, that you can donate to anyone who's in need. If you actually believe in the story of that person, you don't have to know that person. Apparently, that's where the clock stops. That's where you stop, because, oh, I know this like first, second degree connection, I can donate. But to an anonymous unknown person, you won't donate. But if we can build in the trust in the platform, we believe that people will be donating to anonymous people, like other people do, which they don't know. And that is what our user surveys about it.
Okay, makes sense.
Shall we go?
Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1. Great, thank you. Good job. All right, so for our next team, we can welcome Reward Swap to the stage. Yeah.
I'm going to stay here.
Okay.
I can change your slides if you want.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dylan, and this is Pauline. And together we're going to talk about the future of customer loyalty programs, specifically Reward Swap. So in the past, we've been able to earn, store, and use your rewards, but for the first time, we're going to be allowing you to swap rewards. So you might recognize this picture. This is our classmate and co-founder, Avery, and he is uniquely understanding of this problem because he lives right above CVS. So he goes to CVS a couple times a week. He'll get his Gatorade, he'll get his whatever, and he ends up with this 3-foot-long receipt that has all these, promotions on it. He doesn't know what to do with them. Some people use them for scarves, some people use them for their dogs. And when you go look at the digital part of this problem, we get 10 to 15 different promotions that are thrown in our inbox every day. So we're trying to figure out a solution to solve this. And one of the things that we looked at is the couponing market. So the couponing market is very vast. About 9 out of 10 users have used or are part of a single loyalty program. About 6 of 10 have used a physical card, but only 3 of 10 use digital, and that's where we're trying to attack. Additionally, the usage is a huge problem here. So if in the last 10 years about 470 billion in rewards coupons has been issued, only about 1% of that actually ends up being used. So we're trying to include a bigger range of consumer surplus here by allowing them to take advantage of all of their rewards. And we've seen this through the different folks that we've talked to. So we've talked to customers, we've talked to businesses, and we've gotten good feedback from them saying, hey, the current reward systems, they suck. I end up with rewards I don't want to use, and they just end up expiring. So we are seeing in the field, we are seeing some traction, some excitement from this. So now I'll pass on to Pauline to continue on with how it works.
So here is a solution that Reward Swap created. So by talking with our different users, we created a really easy solution by gathering the key features that those users wanted. So as you can see, we created a payment system that allows you to make a purchase and to receive the reward instantly. Reward Swap believes that $1 spent equals 1 token earned. So here comes the best part. Reward Swap allows you to not only use those tokens, but allow you to swap and trade those rewards. We believe that bringing value to those rewards is really important by taking the fidelity further and sharing with your friends. Here is our business model. We think that 25% of the redeemed reward as a transaction fee is fair for the value that we bring to the markets. We believe that having 4,000 restaurants on board gonna make a business of 2 million as an average recurring revenue. Here's our competition analysis. Using the Web3 allows us to make the rewards swappable and bring the customer retention and acquisition further. Here's our go-to-market strategy. We decided to focus on a niche, and creating this niche, we built a customer advisory board, and we're planning to do that next month.
And then in terms of funding, we're looking for $1 million for about 12 months of runway. Most going to be spent on product development, marketing, field sales, and a little bit of admin and legal. And that's it.
Thank you, guys. This is a great presentation. I've seen quite a number of companies, including like Snackhouse. I know the team pretty well, and they tried to do something like this before. The wall that they hit was that most coupons will add a non-transferability clause, right? So it's like the issue is usually not that they cannot be transferred or swapped using the existing tech. It's just that they're legally not allowed to be. Is this something that you've seen? Like, how do you get around it? Is there a large, like this is the market that you're targeting or that you specify account for this fact? Like, are you only looking at transferable coupons?
Yeah, so one of the things that we ran into was there's kind of stovepipes in reward systems. So there's Toast rewards, Rebel rewards, different
a couple other different rewards programs that kind of lock people into things like that. So we saw some issues when it came to like alcohol, liquor, marijuana, cigarettes, that kind of stuff. But in terms of food, we didn't run into that many issues outside of just regular stovepiping from the programs that they chose.
Okay, cool. And who's your ideal user? Who's actually going to be picking this up? Is this just any retail buyer who will go any purchase that they would do? This is like a layer on top of what they're doing, kind of like Honey, except now you're expanding beyond just general coupons?
Yeah, so I can take this one. So in terms of restaurants and small businesses, we're looking for restaurants that are trying to acquire new customers. We're looking for restaurants that are in early stages that are still trying to find those new customers and expand their target market. And the reason for this is that they're able to acquire new customers when their most loyal customers are able to swap their rewards with people who've never shopped at their restaurant before or bought their food before. Say we have customer A who's a really loyal customer of this restaurant, and this restaurant wants to find another customer, say customer B. And customer B has never shopped at this place before. And how this works is customer A, since they have ownership over their rewards, they're able to swap them with customer B, who may want another set of, who has something else to offer customer A in terms of rewards. So essentially bringing the power of rewards and ownership over them from the reward system itself, from SnackPass and other restaurants, to the consumers themselves so that customer acquisition is much easier.
Congratulations, guys. You're mentioning restaurants. Restaurants usually are very small owner-oriented companies, right? Except if you go to chains, right? How are you planning to reach them? What is your go-to-market there? What do you have in mind in terms of customer acquisition costs?
Yeah, so we kind of have a go-to-market strategy laid out that we're starting out with folks in restaurants that are here in the Berkeley area. We didn't have numbers for customer acquisition costs.
Starting out, so what does it mean? Like this is a geo-fencing, right? But how are you approaching that? Like what's really the approach?
Oh, yeah, so we're going out and talking
with
restaurants. Yeah, physically going out. So one of the things that we included in our funding was field sales reps, because we're literally going out, talking with these people face to face, talking with business owners face to face.
Okay. So field reps. And the second question is, most of the startups since COVID happened, they obviously they have digital systems. You know, Apple Pay is almost a lot of places accepted, right? Which was previously not the case, right? So they have already most recently invested in points of sales. What is a strategy in which you integrate with the existing systems?
Yes, exactly. So a lot of people are using point of sale systems like Clover Pay, Toast, Square, and we're looking to basically build a mobile app that will allow you to engage in payments through your cell phone.
Great. Great job, guys. Just a quick question. So as you're onboarding businesses and you scale up, obviously, let's say you start with like smaller businesses, you're scaling up, and then you start maybe working with a chain or you land a big chain contract. How do you plan to incentivize people? Not like if you land like Starbucks or something like that. What can you do, or what do you plan to do to prevent people from just trying to dump all their coupons just for Starbucks? Like, do you have something in place that maybe incentivizes people to go to smaller businesses, or any plans to do any sort of like balancing?
Yeah, so we're looking to basically do everything on a decentralized exchange through an automated market maker. So if everyone wanted to dump their Starbucks rewards, that would cause some kind of change in the prices, or at least not the price of the rewards, but it would change the exchange rates between other McDonald's rewards or something.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, good. And there's Avery, so.
Oh,
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Do one with him and one with the. All right. Yeah. You guys want to do one with the big tech? Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, great job.
Thank you.
you.
All right, so we can have our next team, Bridge, come to the stage. Give them a round of applause.
Hello. Imagine a young person who's in his Hello. Yeah. Imagine a young person who's in his early 20s. He lives in Indonesia. He hasn't had any formal college education. He's taught himself how to code, but through informal YouTube videos, and he's gotten really good at coding. Yeah. So, and he wants to get his first job. He's looking to get his first job in the heart of technology in the Bay Area, but he doesn't know anyone in the United States. This is not just a problem for that person. This is a problem for a lot of people, and it's not just a problem for candidates. It's also a problem for hiring managers who want to help these candidates but don't know where to find them and don't know how to verify their credentials. So our solution is an on-chair peer-to-peer credentialing platform. So actually how this works is candidates onboard themselves on a platform and they choose a specific skill that they want to get verified. And they go through different filters they go through different filters to verify their skills. And in the end, an expert actually gives a recommendation to the candidate and says that, oh, this candidate has the skill, and puts his name behind, and the expert puts his name behind the recommendation. And this recommendation is then used by the hiring managers to onboard these candidates. So the candidates come on a platform. The experts will receive an ERC20 token for every candidate that gets their first job through our platform. And the hiring managers will be charged a small commission for hiring candidates through our platform. So we compete on the basis of robustness of educational credentials and on the basis of decentralization. So that's where we found our blue ocean. So the market size is huge. The hiring industry throughout the world is huge, and we want to start with the skill for software engineering. And there are about 190,000 jobs in the US for software engineering per year, but only 4,000 of them. But only 4,000 degrees are awarded to people from top 20 schools in the US. So where we are right now is we've talked to different managers at big name companies and to verify the problem. But where we are right now is that we're looking to partner with companies like Udemy or Coursera to strengthen that filtering process so that we can reduce the work of experts, and they only come in at the stage where only a few candidates are left. Thank you.
So I got one question for you. How do you plan to acquire and screen these experts who are going to be the ones who are validating the community people?
Okay. So these experts will be, firstly, they'll be handpicked to start off. These can be, for example, we're starting with software engineering. So we can onboard software engineers from companies like Google or Facebook or any other companies or anyone else who has made a name for them, who has made a name for themselves in this field. So at first they'll be handpicked, and actually, yeah, throughout the process they'll be handpicked.
And is that sort of role, something that's like part-time or?
Yeah, they're not full-time here. They'll be here working part-time out of the good of their heart, and also they'll be paid for out of the commission that we get from the hiring managers. And also another reason that we think that they might wanna be on our platform is that there's a certain volunteering hours for the employees of different companies, and we can use these volunteering hours to here at our platform, because it'll be a way for them to help the next generation get the first job.
And who is giving credibility to these experts that you're hiring? Is that like an in-house team, or are you getting the credibility, like finding out the credibility of these experts from like external factors?
So in terms of like, so the experts themselves put their names on the credentialing of the candidates, and that's how hiring managers look at the dashboard, see a list of candidates who's certified by who. So in terms of that, your question was who verifies the candidates again? The experts. The trust between the hiring managers and the certification does not rely on that, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just wondering if I'm like a front-end developer and I come and I apply to be an expert in the program, like who's validating that I actually have any front-end development skills?
To be honest, we haven't thought about that. Like the scaling up process in the beginning, it's just peer-to-peer from people in our network.
Okay, thank you guys.
Congratulations, guys. From a business model perspective, this is more maybe a feedback that I want to share with you, right? There seems to be a lot of noise because you have a three-sided marketplace. Like you have the hiring, which on one hand, right, it has to have a relationship with the expert, and the expert must be validated by the hiring person or company, right? And then the talent, right? So it's already challenging to deal with one customer target audience, more challenging with two, but with three, it's really challenging. So it might be in this use case maybe something that you want to reflect upon, depending if you want to go real life or not, right? If you want to streamline that, right? I like the question here about validation of expert is fundamental, and I want to actually also add to this another question. What makes you believe that the expert actually would like to do this for credentials? Like if you want to pay the expert, why should they really do it? Like an expert to me is somebody who is busy. You make the example here, Silicon Valley, right? Busy in a Google or a Facebook, right? Why should they carve out time and do that, right? Have you validated that?
The first one, as I said, it would be volunteering hours, which the employees already have. And second would be they get a small percentage. I know it's not a lot of money for someone who's already an expert, but it's still a small incentive, and it'll also be goodness of their heart. And also to focus upon who the expert will be. We actually talked to a recruiter at Microsoft, and they said for software engineers to start with, they can provide their own software engineers to be experts on the platform, so that those experts can verify the skills, and folks from hiring managers from Microsoft trust their own employees to be the experts. So anyways, they'll provide the expert, and they can use the volunteering hours of that employee, and also then the trust, basically the expert.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. I have one question. Do you actually own the domain bridge.xyz? Because I can find you a buyer who will pay 7 figures for it.
Yeah, I know, we got that feedback. So, this was from the last pitch. We named it arbitrarily, and I don't know why, but this is not the slides. That's not the updated cover slide. So just to clarify it, yeah.
How do you compete with people like Handshake who are doing a very similar thing but have been building deep partnerships with not just Coursera and Udemy and whatnot, but with universities like Berkeley?
Well, I think we're targeting a totally different candidate field. We're trying to reach, like Monique mentioned in the beginning, just someone who has experience from learning from, I guess, like the vastness of resources on YouTube, stuff like that, but trying to build their portfolio, trying to build a career.
So the long tail of talent, the people who fall outside of traditional.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's not the domain.
Okay, all right, 3, 2, 1. Great job.
One more question. I know that Sam is feeling well, right? Sam is sick. So when did you know that you have to present? Okay, so congratulations. I know how stressful this is, right? So they have been not prepared to pitch there. So congratulations. You can do it.
All right, so we'll have Mona Lisa have our last but not least. Yeah, that's
So, hi everyone, my name is Arnaud, he is Alex. I know we are the last, I hope you are not too tired. We are the two co-founders of Men's Arts, and our goal is to secure the art market in the street. But first, let me just show you a quick video.
Piece of art. I can value that piece of art at 10 million, and I can pay an artist $100 to make me a piece of art. I can value that piece. I can pay an artist $100 to make me a piece of art. I can value that piece of art at $10 million and then donate that to a museum and then write off that $10 million. Boom, tax loophole.
Okay, might be a bit excessive, but as you understood, the art market industry is lacking visibility. And it leads to money laundering problems and to counterfeit problems. And a few words about the market. The digital art market has lost 22% of its value during the COVID crisis. But what is interesting to notice is that at the same time, the digital market has more than doubled to reach $12.5 billion.
So we are going to create a Web3 art marketplace on which one you can, we will track payments that are done through our marketplace thanks to blockchain technology. We are going to tokenize physical art into NFTs, and we are going to offer more security to owners of physical paintings thanks to NFC tag, and they can stick to the painting and then scan, and then people will be able to have all the data related to the paintings. So we are going to create a two-sided marketplace with, on one side, the people we refer as partners, who are the museums, the artists, and the galleries. So they are the people who are going to register art on our platform and sell art, digital or physical art, through our marketplace. On the other side, you will find the art buyers, so the art collectors, NFT collectors, and curious users. So how does that work? So for example, a gallery will create a profile. It will be like Facebook, they have the main feed and everything, but he has the possibility to access to the marketplace, from which one you can buy or sell NFTs or physical assets, paintings. He will also have the possibility to register his own physical art. So when he does, we'll ask him some questions. Then when everything is checked, validated, we will issue a smart contract that will then create some NFTs that will be displayed within his showroom, and after you can sell it through our marketplace. And it is during this process that we are going to do our benefits, because we are going to take 8% transaction fees for every transaction through our marketplace. And we are also offering, providing a Mona Lisa pack of $75 with the ownership certificate, 2 NFTs, and the NFC tag.
Okay, what about the competition? The 4 main types of competitors you can have on our market are the online art websites like Artfinder or Artsy, as you know. You have the companies that are tracking physical art thanks to chips like Blockchain for Art. You have the galleries selling physical art in physical location. And of course, you know OpenSea, the biggest digital art market. I'm going to deep into the projections, but we are expecting to reach break-even point in April 2026, and for that we need $1.9 million to build a team of engineers and to develop the project. And as an exit, we think we have the potential to become the leader of the RF market industry and to put on an IPO, but we also might be interested to sell it. Well, let's see. Thank you very much for listening. You can find our QR code, find our LinkedIn, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask us.
This is an interesting one. And thank you for your presentation. But my main point that I'm curious about is around the authentication part. It's like the challenge is not the authentication of the specific assets, right? This is already done natively just by the nature of the technology you're using. How do you prevent someone from wash trading with an NFT, right, or a piece of art, or basically not doing the sort of tax evasion thing that was in the video? I feel like that's the part that I'm still struggling to sort of understand. So can you help me?
So thanks to the blockchain, you will be able to track all the transactions from, for example, if an artist, like someone come with a paint that is value $1 million. Thanks to the blockchain, you will be able to see all the transactions from this painting before, or all the transactions from the same artist who painted the same painting. So you can have like kind of an idea if the person is like lying and try to do money on your back.
Okay, got it. Well, then in that case, like how's it so different from existing NFT marketplaces? I noticed you touched on, but I think it's probably important to compare here as well.
Like it would be like the NFT would be like the real copy of a real painting. So for example, if you have like the Joconde into the Louvre,
I see. Yeah.
So the Joconde is the only owner of the Louvre is the only owner of the Joconde, so you can be the only person who creates the NFT of the Joconde. So if you find another one like this into the metaverse or an NFT like this, it's a fake one, because if we have the partnership with the museum, we will be the only one who can issue this kind of.
Okay, so that's the missing piece, right? The partnership with the museum. I know all these museums are actually extremely interested in starting this, but they already have sort of their ducks lined up. You know, they already know which companies they might want to work with. If you can't line a partnership with the Louvre or the Met or another major museum, what are you going to do?
Like for beginning, we didn't talk about the market strategy, but for beginning, we are trying to target the galleries, because they are the one who need, like they are selling art. They need to have like a high value, like people see them selling like expensive art. So with the chip, the NFT tag that we are going to put on the painting, it gives them more credibility. So when people go to their galleries, they can scan the painting, so they will be able to access all the data. So we are going to begin with them. We are going to co-art with them by sending them mails and everything to extend the project. And then when we get some galleries, we will extend to the California and then to US and Europe. And at this time, we try to onboard some museums when we get already some traction on everything.
Okay, got it. Thank you, guys.
Just to piggyback on what he was saying, so obviously, like acquiring the galleries and these sorts of people is really important. How do you, as a brand, plan to establish like credibility and clout as an authenticator when your customer is someone who could essentially authenticate this and just mint the NFTs themselves, or use like an alternate NFT, like RFID chip solution?
Yeah, like we are offering a global service. What's okay, we are offering a global service to those galleries, not only like I explained, all the four competitors we have a global service including all of these with low fees, and this will permit to attract the first galleries. So this is all it is at the beginning. If we can attract the first ones, we will gain legitimacy to get the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and so on. So reverse may streams.
Target like people who are not like digital native, like who don't know how to process, to create NFTs and everything. So I think it would be helpful for them to have a certain like hours.
And also we already spoke to artists and figurists that are interested about this. We don't have like an official letter of intent, but they are interested about those services.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
It's so. Ouais. Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Or maybe one professional one, maybe just one professional.
Great job. So with that, great job on finishing the final period. Awesome. So we have an amazing dinner party catered by Laval's right outside. So we will reconvene at 8:55. We'll reconvene at 8:55 because we were running a little bit behind and we need a little bit more time to tabulate our final scores. So for the next 25 minutes, enjoy the dinner and then be back in here by 8:55. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, and a round of applause for you guys. Thank you so much. Also, then, in every endeavor, you have a partner, right? So my partner in crime, Dan, right? Thank you so much for making this come to life. And also, big thank you. I would like to thank, Timothy and Manan. The amount of work that they have done, right? Without them, this would not have been possible, right? So this has been amazing. They've been working extra hours, weekends. They have been creative, contributing, being on meetings, and this all next to the university. So it's really amazing what you guys have done. Thank you so much, right? Yeah, please clap, another round. Yeah. Karen, I had the pleasure to meet you only tonight, but thank you so much for the contribution. I think this is fundamental to contribute and create this innovation and this next generation of entrepreneurs. That's what the course is. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the guidance, the collaboration, the partnership that we have been having, right? I really enjoyed it. Now, without further ado, I think everybody, right? I have here a promise that last Thursday, right? I promised you that I will be sharing with you. I shared already with you my first book. Today I have here the second book that, by the way, is not published yet. So Wiley is making this available on May 03, which is next week, right? These are actually author copies. I got 20, and here I have 9. You guys voted, and we share one per team. I signed them, and I'm more than happy to basically hand them out. Yeah, and I was thinking, and I was booked, right? So where do we start now? What is it we do now? Who is on position number? No, innovation, right?
Yeah, we get to do some awards here. I think actually we might bring Tim on to talk a little bit about this. Right. So first of all, I guess we'll talk about the potential to win in the Collider Cup. So just a reminder to you guys, the #1 spot is going to be getting access to this competition, which has all of these prizes and potential things to win. So the things that you guys are doing are definitely valuable. And regardless of who wins here, just a reminder, I think anyone in this class could be capable of getting one of these competitions and winning. So with that, I'll kick it off. I think we have maybe a drum roll. Here, we're going to tell you who the most innovative technology. So this was my pleasure and honor to work with you guys to help with the technical side of this class. And we definitely have one potentially cream of the crop, but like only by so much. And we looked at the scores, we looked at the numbers, guys. Like pretty close. So I'll hand it off to Tim to announce it.
So our most innovative technology team is Insider.
Run with it.
Cool, so thank you and great job. So on to our next award, we have the People's Choice Award. So drum roll, please. That is the Reward Squad. So congratulations, this is after tabulating the mobile voting scores, and great job. Awesome.
Book. And we'll hold it in the middle here.
All this great.
And now we're getting to the place number 3. Who's excited? Who wants to know what's place number 3? Make some noise. In position number 3, we have Apollo Music. 2, we have some drum rolls.
Once again.
This was head and head. Very tight, very tight. Very good solution. Okay. It's very tight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah?
No whiskey for you.
And now. Oh, you had already one?
We had already one.
You had one? Oh, you had one? One more team, yeah.
Number 1.
And now. But by the way, I would like to share that before we share out that number 1, right? Everybody is a winner here, right? This is a class activity. And funny anecdote from how I started in the year 2001, my first, you have heard some stories, right? But I want to make this long story short, right? There was a guy that I was brainstorming, I said, and he told me actually this sentence, "You're never going to make it," right? And the rest is history. Before stars had 2 exits, right? And I'm still going. So what it means is that there is no winner. Don't let you define something from the outside, right? Everybody won here, right? So it's all about what you decide to do, what problem you would like to fall in love with, and what problem you would like to solve. And without further ado, the position number 1, the first place team is. Yes, they're good. Congrats. Lighter companies.
Remember that when you raise your first round.
Right. That's awesome.
Are we still sharing the whiskey?
Yeah. Take a wait, what's the book? What's the book? Is it a book?
Yes. Okay, so now we have a couple of thank yous that we'd like to thank many people who made this possible. So first, thank you, judges. Give it a round of applause. So we actually have a little gift for all of the judges here today. So just give me a moment to bring it. But yeah, come on stage. Just right on the curtain.
We just came in at the end, like we didn't really.
Oh my God.
Oh no way.
We got a photographer right there.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay, and if we'd like to keep you here as well, we'd like to thank our instructors. And we also do have people for you.
Thank you.
Then, of course, we'd like to thank our support team.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And lastly, we'd like to thank our class for an unforgettable semester. One more for today. So we'd like to invite all of you guys to the stage. Everyone can come up here and hold some books.
With the big camera, that would be good too. And you should stand up and get the good angle. Yeah, get the best angle. But your camera is not
Thank you very much.
Okay, so for the picture, we'll need to make multiple rows. So can we make like 3 rows? Because right now the picture's too wide and it's gonna get cut off by the camera. So can we make 3 rows, please?
Let's hold. Where are the books? Let's hold the books also. Nice.
I think so. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Congrats everyone, and also lastly, just one second, we'd like to give a big thank you to Sophie, who is the course coordinator of the College Management Course. Yeah, so she helps with all the tutoring and making sure that this part of the day. We want to have the third and second and first place team come on stage as well.
Thank you guys. Final class. This is it. There's one more deliverable, so make sure you're still in touch with us. But we'll see you on Slack. Thank you all. Good night.
Yeah.
Our pitch. Based on yours.
I'm gonna just share the video to everyone so that they can watch it.